Not that long ago, Volkswagen loaned us a GTD, which is a European diesel version of the Volkswagen GTI. We really liked it, but we didn't know if they were going to bring it to America. Well, Volkswagen has flown us all the way to Germany to drive the 7th generation Golf in GTD form. I wonder what that means.
Unfortunately, it doesn't mean that an American GTD is guaranteed, at least not yet. But much of what makes up the GTD will find its way to the US.
Underpinning the GTD is the 7th generation Golf platform, and it's bigger, roomier, but also lighter, about 70 pounds, than the previous generation. Naturally, lightweight and a stiff chassis results in good stuff like quicker acceleration and sprightlier handling. Sprightlier? Yeah, I like sprightlier. It's sprightlier. Ha ha ha! Wee, sprightly! Helping the chassis for the 7th generation Golf platform be as rigid as possible is the fact that it is German, and the fact that it has 28% hot-formed, high-strength steel. That's up from a mere 6% in the previous model. So rigid! Yeah! You know, there might be some pushback to the notion of a diesel GTI because you don't have that high-end rush. You just got all this torque and a very narrow power band. But really, the GTI's appeal isn't strictly about power delivery. It's a lot about handling. And all of that stuff comes through in the GTD. You have basically the same experience, just with much better fuel economy. And yes, different power delivery, but get over it. All right, let's feel some of that sweet diesel acceleration. That's the funny thing about a diesel, is that it kicks so hard that the stability control system and the traction control have to mitigate that acceleration. Eventually you get moving though. No surprises here, it's a diesel, so there's tons of torque, and then power starts to trail off once you get up around 4,000 RPM. But it's actually a lot of fun. Floor it, and you go. And there's enough get up and go that if you want to pass somebody on some super unlimited German roadway, why, that's no problem. Come to Germany and enjoy their brilliant autobahns, and you can tap into the GTD's 143 mile an hour top speed. It's faster than most of the cars, but not faster than some. Stay out of the way of the Porsches. At the same time, it also returns 56 miles per gallon on the European testing cycle. Now don't get all excited, that doesn't mean 56 miles per gallon by American standards. Come over to America, maybe 10-15% you have to cut off, and then you have about 44-45 miles per gallon you can expect for a combined fuel economy. I've seen a lot of bad auto stop systems in various cars, but the GTD's auto stop is pretty good. Nice and smooth, immediate restart. The only thing is that if you get on it immediately after taking your foot off the brake, sometimes the engagement with the clutch is a little bit abrupt, but if you have to save gas, that's not a bad way to do it. The power steering system is one of those electrically boosted systems that automotive journalists hate so much because you don't get a ton of feel through the steering wheel. It's not really a problem though. You turn and then the car turns, and then you turn more and it turns more, and it all works just fine. I suppose if I had to complain about the steering, it would probably be the fact that when you start pushing things, it's a little bit tough to tell when you're approaching the limits. That's the downside. The upside to having an electric power steering system is the fact that it improves fuel economy. And one of the things they've done is they've given it a variable ratio, so as you get to the edges of the steering circle, it turns the wheels even more, which means you have less turns lock to lock, which makes it really easy to get to parking lots or to make really quick U-turns. Actually the one stretch of German road that's slightly bumpy. They really do the road thing well. It's okay though, because the GTD has an adaptive damping system. It's the kind of stuff that you'd usually find in a higher end vehicle. I'm not sure if this will make it to America because, you know, Europe gets all sorts of cool stuff on their tiny little cars, and usually that kind of stuff is reserved for big American cars, but who knows? That's the nice thing about the new modular system with the Golf and a lot of Volkswagen's cars based on their new MQB platform. I'm throwing a lot of sort of buzzwords at you. I'll stop talking now.
And while I'm in the mood to shut up, let's drink in the GTD's exterior.
visual distinctions between the GTD and the GTI are minimal, but you'll get points if you notice them. They include the lack of a red line of trim on the front, the fact that the GTD's exhaust only exit on the left side of the rear diffuser, and this heritage material right here is gray instead of more colorful as in the GTI. Oh, and different wheels.
Styling aside, the new GTD is defined by its brand new turbocharged, direct injection 2-liter 4-cylinder diesel engine. Output is a reasonable 184 horsepower and a robust 280 pound-feet. Diesels. Transmission choices include a manual and a dual clutch automatic, each with 6 speeds. And for the record, I promise not to judge you if you'd rather have the dual clutch.
You know, every single time we drive the Volkswagen GTD, well, actually it's only 2 times, but every time we hear the exact same thing. We don't know if it's coming to America or not. Same deal this time, though this time Volkswagen of America said they'd really like to bring it. Will they bring it? We don't know. Maybe if we all clap our hands, we can bring it to America, Tinkerbell style. The Volkswagen GTD in America lives! One thing is sure, that the Golf that shares the exact same platform and the GTI that shares that platform is coming to America very soon, coming in like the summer of 2014. And if it's as good as the GTD we experienced this week, I think American Volkswagen fans are going to be very pleased.